What is going on, clan? I'm going to show you how to earn the Biker Boy trophy in the Final Fantasy VII Remake. This gameplay is on normal difficulty, however, to make it easier, you can switch it to easy. I'm just going to show you that it is possible to do it on a harder difficulty. Now, first off, I'm going to give you guys a few tips while doing this. Some things that I've noticed haven't really been said on other guides, so I thought I'd make it a bit more in depth. Now, the first tip I'm going to tell you that I haven't really seen anyone mention is while you're driving through these tunnels, you will see these ramps, and you want to try to hit them when you can because they're actually going to fill up the special meter in the bottom left side of the screen, and they'll completely replenish that meter. So as you can see, mine was empty and now it's completely full. So you want to hit those jumps so that way you can take out the enemies much easier, because you have a long range triangle attack and you have just, your normal triangle attack when they're up close. Now, my next tip is pretty obvious. Don't get really greedy. For example, even just the little small grunts that die in one combo, make sure you just kind of smack them and keep your distance, because otherwise they'll use a baton and they'll start smacking you with that and you'll take damage. As you can see there, I missed that jump, but I also already had my special, so I didn't utilize that. But in the beginning it's fairly easy because you're only going up against small grunts. They only take one combo. Just try to keep your distance, give them the 3 smacks and they'll drop. And it's good for those ramps right here, because even though there's 3 of them here, you can just take them out with a special if you wanted. But I'll go ahead and just try and double team them. And you don't want to ever be directly behind them because they shoot behind themselves. So make sure you're only on the sides of them, and when you're on the side, again, just keep distance so that way they don't hit you with a baton. Think about social distancing, but on a motorcycle, that's basically what you want to do. Alright, so you can do a long range attack by holding L1 and then pressing triangle, and it takes these bigger guys' health down halfway, so that's a pretty good maneuver to do. Another thing to notice with these guys is they throw fire. And yeah, you pretty much just want to be nowhere near that, because it does do a fair bit of damage. So as you can see, I'm playing it a bit safe. You can smack them a couple times and then run away. And then the second you get a special, you can use it. And the good thing is, if they're lined up in a row, you can actually use the special to hit both of them, or hit as many targets that are actually lined up in a row. So if you can get them to actually line up, definitely do that, and then smack them with the special. This guy is using fire attack, so I'm just trying to play it a bit safe. Now, in order to actually get the trophy, you need to have 80% of your health by the time you finish the boss. So if you take a fair bit of damage and you notice you're under 80%, you're better off returning to the title screen and then reloading the autosave. Or you can use chapter select as well if you've beaten the story. With the robots, whenever they're doing that laser move just at the last minute, dodge left or dodge right, it's very easy. And when they do that explosion move, just don't be anywhere near them. They only take 2 hits to knock out, and the special long range attack will one-shot them, so if you get a few of them lined up, you can always use that as well. Again, you can see I used the ramp to fill up my special. Didn't really benefit me too much there since it was nearly full, but you always want to keep utilizing all of that, so that way you can make sure you can put out as much damage as possible. Alright, so we're just continuing through the level like we have been. I'm trying to wait for them to line up so I can launch it at them. And it looks like I hit the guy in the front and I hit the elite. So took half his health and took out the little grunt. So that was definitely a good attack. You just want to try to line them up so you can take out as many as possible. Take out the robot. Watch out for this guy's fire. Go in, do a couple hits. If you see him have stuff equipped or he's going to throw a fire, just jump away and then go back in and get your final swings. And I was sort of just flailing my sword around right here because I figured he would come up on the side, and it didn't really work out. So once he threw that, I went in, did a couple hits on him and finished him off, thankfully. I have a full special. Again, haven't really taken much damage. This is on normal difficulty, so you take a fair bit of damage compared to easy. So again, if you're still struggling, switch it to easy, make your life a bit easier. So next up, we'll have one little final wave of enemies, and then the boss will spawn in. I'm just trying to make this as in-depth as possible, because honestly, it's not as hard as it may seem. Just knowing the little tricks like that, like refilling your special bar and things. So as you can see right there, I was behind him. Thankfully, I moved pretty quick. So don't ever really be behind them, just to avoid any kind of damage. Smack him 3 times, run away. Alright, so we've got one last enemy to dispatch, which I completely missed. That's okay. So we'll knock him out, and then 2 elite troops are going to come in, and you don't actually have to attack them at all. It's going to play a cutscene, and shortly the boss will spawn in. Now there's a few things to remember with this boss. He does a few long-range attacks, which can be a bit intimidating. But if you hit the brakes, or even just guard, it'll automatically hit the brakes if you guard. I find it much easier to guard and then dodge his attacks. Not because of the actual guard, but because you're going slower, so it makes it a bit easier to dodge. So the best way to approach him is, whenever he's going to attack, just guard, because you'll be able to actually maneuver the bike much easier. And worst case scenario, if he does hit you, then at least you're taking reduced damage because you're guarding. You will still take damage when you're guarding, but it'll be reduced by a fair bit, so it's better than getting hit. You can also use a long-range special attack to interrupt his special attacks. So if you are a bit intimidated by it, you can always interrupt some of them. But again, when he does that, just sort of guard, maneuver your way to the left or right, and dodge them. And same thing, I'm guarding, but he didn't come close. Now when you actually get up close to him, you want to do a couple smacks, move over, go back in, do a couple smacks, and when he does that melee, you want to slam on the brakes and get out of there. And once he slams his bike back down, you can go in, get a couple more swings in, because each bit of damage is going to help. And you want to use that melee special attack as well when you're close enough, just to deal the most damage. So again, he's going for his special. I'm guarding and slowing down, just to give myself basically more time to dodge that. As you can see, that one looked like it hit me. I don't believe I lost any health there, but if I did, that's how much you really lose, because you're guarding anyways. So again, guard. It just makes it so much easier to dodge that attack. Before it seemed just very intimidating, and now you can just guard and you're good. So I'm going to go in here. I'm going to try and close the distance and then hit him with a special. Does a fair bit of damage. I'll smack him a couple times, go away to the right, keep smacking him. And you kind of just want to play it safe like that. Go in, get a couple hits, back up, a couple hits, maybe slam the brakes. You don't want him to trap you in the corner and do like a strong melee attack that's going to take a lot of your health. In order to get the trophy, you actually need 80% of your health by the time you finish. So every bit counts. I hit him with another special there, smacked him a couple times, and then moved. Once you get him into his final phase, he's going to start using a lightning attack. And again, if you're guarding, you're going to be slowed down, which makes the bike a bit easier to maneuver. And you can actually just dodge those like nothing. Then he's going to jump into the track again, and you want to dodge that attack because it's just a giant explosion. And when he goes to melee like that, you need to hit the brakes and get out of the corner so he doesn't trap you in there to do damage. Keep doing this every time you get your special. When you have an opening, definitely use it. Like right there, I just figured I would use it because by the time he finishes his lightning phase, I'd have half a special already built up again, instead of, pretty much just sitting on it. So we'll close distance, get a couple smacks on him. He's a bit distracted with Biggs and Wedge, so we'll smack on him some more. And then he's trapped me in a corner, so I'm going to hit the brakes and get out of that. And he's going to do a special attack, so I kind of move out of the way. And he's going to do another lightning phase. Again, I smacked him with a special. Just start guarding, dodging the lightning. Bike's so much easier to maneuver when you're doing that. He's going to dive in, move over to the side. That one was a bit close, But definitely see where he's about to land, and sure enough, you'll defeat him. And it's that easy, guys. Now, if you are still struggling with this, remember you can put it on easy and you might have an easier time for it, especially with chapter select if you have beaten the game. However, if you have made it to the end of the video, why don't you leave a comment below saying, Biker Boy? That way I can see who the real ones are who made it to the end of the video. And if the video did help you out, please smash like and subscribe. Make sure you share the video if you have any friends struggling to earn this trophy. Other than that, guys, once you've done that, as long as you're above 80% health, the trophy will pop. And that's it. That's all there is to it. I have a all-in-one collectibles guide coming soon, and I've done everything in a nice, convenient order for you by chapters, just to make sure that it's nice, easy to follow, and straight to the point. Other than that, guys, that's all I have for you. I will catch you guys in the next one. Stay tuned.